yelling at me. Hold on, little man.
10, 15, 20 years ago, that motherfucker would be dead. He'd be fucking, his teeth would be missing.
Which lay unsolved for 23 years, before new information revealed that the culprit was actually one of the police force's best detectives.
Next up, we have the Collin County Detention Officer,
Hey, that's Robert.
who allegedly passed a cell phone inside the jail to an inmate. The matter was
Reckless cop gets fired after trooper calls out his insane behavior. Now that sounds like a video. Don't switch on me, I got big plans. This is Audit the Audit.
Welcome to Audit the Audit, where we sort out the who and what and the right and wrong of police interactions. This episode covers eluding, police dog bites, and medical care, and is brought to us by Police Activity, WKYC Channel 3, and WSYX ABC.
Yeah, you ever been arrested? You ever had like a cop just bug out on you?
On July 4th, 2023, a state trooper in Jackson County, Ohio, attempted to pull over 23-year-old truck driver Jadarius Rose after noticing a missing mud flap on the truck. While the trooper claimed that Mr. Rose made direct eye contact with him, he did not stop, and the trooper called for backup. After about 20 minutes, Mr. Rose finally pulled over.
I don't even know what a mud flap is. Dude, the big ass gun, nigga. What? Nigga bugging. He has a scope on him, bro.
You just pull back out.
Okay, are you Quick County or Ross County?
Nah, I wouldn't have pulled off again. But like what do you think you're finna do? Like, where you think you're finna go?
Roll the window down, look at us, roll it back up. We're northbound 48 miles an hour, passing Moore Road in Ross County.
I need an update for 1020 again.
After Mr. Rose saw officers with guns drawn, he drove away from the stop, and the officers began to follow and attempted to pull him over again. During the chase, Mr. Rose called 911, and the audio from the call was later shared by Cleveland news station WKYC Channel 3.
I don't know why they even pulling me over. I was about to comply with them, but they all had their guns.
Units in the pursuit. I have the guy in the semi on 911. He's complaining that you guys had his guns pulled out on him.
I don't know why they're trying to kill me. Yes, they are. Obviously, they throwing stuff on the ground, trying to explode the tires, and they feel like they're trying to kill me, and I'm not even.
Okay, sir, you need to comply with them. You
got pulled over yet.
Okay, because they're in pursuit of you. You need to pull over. You're going to get yourself in more trouble than what you're already in.
Despite the operator's suggestion that Mr. Rose pulled over, he did not stop and kept driving until the officers brought the truck to a halt using so-called stop sticks, which are spiked bars that flatten the vehicle's tires.
They have those in the Need for Speed. I hate
of the Ohio Revised Code, which defines the offense of failure to comply with an order or signal of a police officer, quote, "No person shall operate a motor vehicle so as willfully to elude or flee a police officer after receiving a visible or audible signal from a police officer to bring the person's motor vehicle to a stop." Generally, a violation of this statute is a misdemeanor of the first degree. However, the statute also states that the offense is a felony of the fourth degree, quote, "if the jury or judge finds that the offender was fleeing immediately after the commission of a felony, and a felony of the third degree if the jury or judge finds that, quote, the operation of the motor vehicle by the offender was a proximate cause of serious physical harm to persons or property, or, now quoting again, the operation of the motor vehicle by the offender caused a substantial risk of serious physical harm to persons or property." Now, while there's no publicly available information that suggests
I don't know how long of this I'm gonna watch.
after committing
Probably
a
not all
felony
18
and
though.
no harm to any individual or property was reported, it is possible that a court could conclude that Mr. Rose created a substantial risk of serious physical harm if there is any evidence that he drove recklessly or otherwise endangered property or someone's safety. On the other hand, it was reported that Mr. Rose drove the speed limit for most of the chase, so it is also possible that a court could conclude that only a conviction for the misdemeanor offense would be appropriate.
Tell them to stop there if they got them wrong. That's a dog! Come to me! You know one bit!
You don't want bit, nigga forgot English.
Come to me, man.
Do not let them, don't release the dog. Do not release the dog with his hands up.
They're gonna let it go anyways.
With his hands up.
They're finna let it go
Release
anyways.
the dog with his hands up, don't. Do not, get the dog off of it. Get the dog off of it.
Bro, you just ignored all his colleagues.
Get the dog off. Get your dog. Get it out.
Yeah, they were trying to kill him. Well, not all of them, but like the one who released the dogs, they were trying to kill him.
After Mr. Rose exits the truck, he stands with his hands up. Canine Officer Ryan Speakman of the Circleville Police Department orders Mr. Rose to get on the ground and threatens to have his dog bite him if he does not comply, while state troopers tell Mr. Rose to come to them and repeatedly shout to Officer Speakman not to release the dog. When Mr. Rose does not get on the ground, Officer Speakman releases the dog, and Mr. Rose drops to his knees, keeping his hands in the air. Officer Speakman then orders the dog to attack, and the dog bites Mr. Rose and appears to hold its grip for more than 30 seconds. Although the Circleville Police Department has not made its policies publicly available, CNN was able to review the department's policy manual for the use of police canines and reported that a canine may be used to apprehend a suspect, quote, if the canine handler reasonably believes that the individual has committed, is committing, or is threatening to commit any
And nigga had his hands
offense.
up. He had his hands up the whole
also
time.
stated that the policy manual authorizes such a use of a canine if the handler has a, quote, reasonable belief the suspect poses an imminent threat of violence or serious harm, or, now quoting again, if the suspect is physically resisting or threatening to resist arrest, and the use of a canine reasonably appears to be necessary to overcome such resistance. Based on these sections, it seems likely that Officer Speakman's actions were a violation of department policy, although it is possible I could reach a different conclusion if I were to review the full policy manual. In addition to potentially violating Circleville PD policy, Officer Speakman likely subjected Mr. Rose to unconstitutional excessive force by sicking the dog on him. As we have discussed many times before here on ATA, the Supreme Court held in the 1989 case of Graham versus Connor that when determining whether a police use of force was excessive, courts must consider factors, including, quote, the severity of the crime at issue, whether the suspect poses an immediate threat to the safety of the officers or others, and whether he is actively resisting arrest or attempting to evade arrest by flight. Applying these factors, the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, which has jurisdiction over Ohio, held in the 2013 case of Rainey versus Patton that, quote, it would be clear to a reasonable officer that employing a police dog against an unarmed suspect detained on the basis of a traffic offense who was on the ground and not attempting to flee would constitute excessive force. In reaching this conclusion, the court noted that, quote, the cases granting qualified immunity to the officer highlight the importance of facts establishing that a suspect has failed to surrender or has yet to be apprehended and has been given the opportunity to avoid an encounter with a dog before its employment. When such facts have not been present, use of a police canine has been deemed unreasonable. As Mr. Rose was clearly surrendering, it seems likely that a court would conclude that Officer Speakman's deployment of a canine was excessive force. However, the fact that an individual is raising their hands in surrender is not always sufficient for a court to conclude that a canine apprehension is unreasonable. For instance, in the 2018 case of Baxter versus Bracey, the Sixth Circuit concluded that officers were entitled to qualified immunity for using a canine to capture a suspect who had his hands in the air, noting that the suspect was hiding in an unfamiliar location after fleeing from the police and posed an unknown safety risk. The court also argued that there was no identified case law that suggested that raising hands on its own was enough to put an officer on notice that a canine apprehension was unlawful. Accordingly, it is conceivable that, given the extended pursuit that was required to stop Mr. Rose and the fact that he did not comply with Officer Speakman's orders to get on the ground, a court could conclude he posed a potential safety risk and that the use of a canine was therefore reasonable.
Get the first aid.
Sure, he sound. Hey.
He said it 3-4 more times.
Bro, don't touch my left arm, bro. You just let the dog bite me. Why would you touch my left arm? No, why you keep bending my arm?
We're trying to get it wrapped.
We're wrapping it up.
We're not trying to hurt you.
Here. There's a pad. On it.
Bro, get off me.
I can't.
Bro, I have handcuffs on. What am I doing to you?
You could kick somebody. I don't want you to
I'm
kick
gonna kick
anybody.
somebody.
Come
I
on
kick
now.
nobody. I just got bit by a dog.
I understand that. Just
Man, you
calm
don't
down.
understand. You don't understand. Did you get bit by a dog? Stop squeezing me.
Nobody, buddy. Nobody's trying to hurt you.
Shit, you just let a dog bite me.
All you had to do is come to me.
I was coming, all the guns pointing at me. How you do you expect me to respect you? You got a gun pointing at me. It's like 20 of y'all.
All you had to do was stop, brother.
I did stop. I don't feel
20
safe.
miles ago.
I did.
The officers call for emergency medical services, and while they await an ambulance, they attempt to wrap Mr. Rose's wounds using supplies from a first aid kit. In the 1983 case of Revere
All right,
versus
Danny.
Massachusetts General
Get to the
Hospital, the
point.
Supreme Court held that the due process clause of the
You want to stand up on your feet or you want to sit on your butt? EMS is
I don't know what you're gonna let me do.
I'm gonna let you do. I'm gonna let you either sit or stand. As long as you ain't gonna do nothing stupid.
I'm gonna do something stupid
Just
with hands.
have him set up.
You get to answer the question.
Let him set up.
You still let it go. Don't put pressure on me. You have to have pressure. Don't know. Let it be. Why are you still touching me?
Because you are under arrest.
Yeah, I have handcuffs on.
Understand?
All right, so you can stop touching me and tell me what I need to do.
Not
But I don't need your hand on me. The dog already did enough.
Probably wouldn't be bad to put one on.
See if he's got his ID with him. If not,
I know it's not funny, but this nigga is unintentionally hilarious.
Y'all not easy. Y'all get the dog bite me.
I know he had his classmates cracking up.
Did I not?
Man, you just pulled up. I ain't trying to hear that.
Did I not say?
I know his classmates was cracking up when he was in school.
Next available rollback.
Yes or no?
It don't matter, bro.
No, you didn't comply, so you got the dog.
On the truck is deflated brake.
When do the troopers
Where
talk
is
to
the
this nigga?
EMS?
they're on their way.
How long is it gonna take?
I don't know.
Well, you need to know because my arm is hurt.
All right, they'll get here as soon as they can get here.
Why are you going in my pockets?
Get your ID.
Dang, he could have said that before he went to his pockets.
After EMS arrived, Mr. Rose was taken to a local hospital, where he was treated and discharged. He was then taken to the Ross County Jail and later released on bond. Court records show that Mr. Rose was charged with a 4th-degree felony count
Damn.
of failure to comply with an order or signal of a police officer, which, as we discussed earlier in this episode, is the level of offense that would apply if the offender was fleeing immediately after the commission of a felony. However, no information regarding what this alleged felony could be has been made publicly available, and as of the date of writing this episode, the charge
Boom.
yet filed a lawsuit, but it seems likely that he will be pursuing legal action with the help of his attorneys. Overall, Officer Speakman gets an
Scoob.
F for ordering a canine to bite an unarmed and surrendering citizen, resorting to
man.
the use of likely excessive force to gain compliance with an order from a
Likely.
non-violent individual, and ignoring instructions from the police agency in charge of the apprehension. Throughout the encounter, Officer Speakman's actions demonstrated a total lack of empathy for Mr. Rose and the pain he caused him, and he seemed completely oblivious to the fact that his actions were potentially unconstitutional. In fact, Officer Speakman's body camera captured a conversation with a colleague where he expressed his bewilderment as to why the state troopers were upset with him.
I don't know why they seem like.
I don't know.
He didn't comply. I gave him 3 commands. I told him, final warning. If you don't get on the ground, you're gonna get the dog.
If they just gave him different commands,
Why they seem
gang.
mad at me for it? He wasn't complying. I mean, am I wrong?
They told him to walk to him.
These
You told him to get on the ground. He can't do
combined with
both.
his actions during the encounter reveal an overly authoritarian and violent attitude that I find more than disturbing. And even though he was not terminated for his actions in deploying the dog, I applaud his removal from the Circleville police force. Mr. Rose gets a C because although Officer Speakman's use of force against him was clearly unwarranted, he failed to pull over for a
Did I get
traffic stop for
clickbaited?
20 minutes, then drove off again and did not stop.
I got
until
clickbaited. Nigga didn't even. The whole reason I clicked on this to see the trooper call the nigga out, but like, that ain't even happen. I just got clickbaited. All right, what's that right there? I'm blind for real. I'm gonna say how I feel. Cop forgets his body cam is rolling. gets caught. I'm black for real. I might just say how
Hey, how
I
you doing,
feel.
officers? Can I get your names and badge numbers?
Sure, can I have your ID, please?
No, you can't.
Excuse me.
Excuse me?
Have you not heard that before? Hey, Tibbets.
Officer Tibbets.
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 Policies, they don't supersede law. Just so you know that.
This is not going to end well with you. You know that.
Okay, we'll see. We will see.
I'm telling you.
We will see.
I need to find out who you are now.
Okay, lower your voice. We're in the library.
Just saying.
Understand that?
Don't touch me.
You don't leave until we say so.
Don't touch me. Nobody's scared of you, Tibbets.
No one's supposed to be scared of me.
Tibbets.
I'm talking over you because you keep yapping.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel.
Tibbets is
Today's
a
video
hilarious
features
name.
Long Island Audit and an officer who may have unwittingly testified against himself for police brutality and possibly murder. In the end, you will have to decide for yourself. On the 9th of June, Long Island Audit was filming at the Danbury, Connecticut Public Library when he was stopped by security and ordered to shut off his camera.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm alright, how are you? It's not allowed here to take photos or videos, okay? You need the permission from the administration about that.
So it's not allowed to take photos or videos here?
Inside, no.
Wait, who do I need permission from?
Administration.
From administration? Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
In Soviet Russia, some public places demand permits, such as the Red Square, airports, and libraries. In the United States, such laws don't exist, and are in fact prevented from becoming law by the First Amendment's right to free press. Many libraries and other public facilities have policies that require one to ask permission to film. However, policy does not trump law. After a short back and forth, the guard calls the Danbury Police Department, and multiple officers arrive at the scene.
How's it going, sir? Hey, how you doing, officers?
Good.
Not bad. Can I get your names and badge numbers?
Sure, can I have your ID, please?
No, you can't.
Excuse me.
Have you not heard that before?
I've heard it plenty of times. It's just I'm surprised because, well, my name and my badge number's right here. Okay, you see it?
Tibbets?
Yep,
I
640.
The pen is blocking the number.
Oh.
640?
Yep.
And Dennis 647. So
He
what
probably
I'm doing here
came
is a
there
First
to
Amendment
do
protected
this.
activity. I'm recording. I know you don't care, sir, but listen, if you violate that in any way and interfere with that,
I'm not violating it. They asked you to leave.
Yeah, but they can't ask me to leave. This is a public library. Can I speak to a supervisor, please?
After immediately showing their disdain for the public and our civil rights, Long Island Audit requests a supervisor, hoping that they would have a better attitude and understanding of what they swore an oath to do.
Hey, Dennis, can I please speak to a supervisor? I would appreciate that.
You just ignores him.
Where's that at?
Oh, you guys got body cameras. Great. So maybe a supervisor will be better.
Supervisor, you got 4 cops here. Relax.
But I'm asking you for a supervisor.
You don't need one. You don't need one.
Okay.
Right now.
You can't turn a constitution protected activity into a crime, sir. Unfortunately, as much as you would like to.
Even if it's not a crime, it's creepy as heck.
I'm going to request a supervisor again.
In a minute.
He just ignores
I'm
him.
pretty sure your
He
policy, if I
said,
go home and look at your policy, and I'm pretty sure if I request a supervisor, you guys should call one, correct? So, I'm going to request a supervisor again. I would appreciate if you guys
it's
could
like
get a
his 5th
supervisor
time
down
doing
here.
it. 6.
You don't rule the roost here right now.
Yeah, no, I'm just requesting a supervisor just for
In a minute.
because you guys are a little bit hostile. I can see the tyrant in you, Utter. You're a real tyrant.
Alright, that's funny.
In law enforcement experience,
Yeah.
I'm still here, but I'm a tyrant.
You are.
24 years ago, when cameras weren't as accessible, it's possible that Long Island Audit would have had his teeth kicked in or would possibly be dead. More on that later. Mr.
Could they say
Tibbet skims through the library policy, searching for a reason to remove Long Island Audit for filming.
Hey, Tibbets.
Officer Tibbets.
Tibbets. The policies, they don't supersede law. Just so you know that. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It goes the Constitution, law, then policies.
I have
Okay.
no idea.
Okay. And I have a
Well, now
constitutional
you know.
right to be filming here. So.
Okay.
Great.
So what's the
I'm just letting you
problem?
know. Well, I'm letting you know because you don't know the Constitution, obviously.
No, I
So.
don't. Obviously, I don't. No,
You took an oath to it, though, Tibbets.
Saying Tibbets will never not be
Such a
funny.
tyrant.
You gotta be such a tyrant.
Acting like a child?
Yeah.
I see what you did there,
Acting like a
Tibbets.
child.
Did you get permission when you post that video of these people?
Don't need it. They're in
You don't
public.
need it?
Yeah, they're in public.
That is true. He don't need permission.
This is not going to end well with you. You know that.
Okay, we'll see. We will see.
I'm telling you.
We will see.
Okay.
I'm not scared of you.
I know
You're
you're
not
not.
supposed to be scared of us.
I don't care. I'm
Okay,
just
great.
saying.
You're like, why are you out there? At this point, why are you out there?
Here, listen. Listen. Before you guys even arrest me, the thing that's gonna happen is you have to tell me to leave, right?
No.
So
No. We're in charge here, okay?
yeah, you're gonna tell me to leave, and then
You're
what,
gonna have to
what
give us
you're
an
gonna
ID.
do?
If you don't give us an ID,
Not gonna happen.
then you're gonna have to go.
Not gonna
downtown.
happen. I'm
I'm
not
just
breaking
telling
any
you.
laws.
Yes, you're breaking their law, and they.
They'll create law.
They're gonna love that you said that. To get my ID, you need reasonable, articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime.
You have.
What crime have I committed?
If you're not going to give me your ID, you're interfering with the duties of a police officer.
Eventually, a
Which is not
supervisor
true.
arrives on scene.
Hey, Sergeant,
Okay.
how you doing? Good, nice to meet you, sir. Hey,
So, according to our...
I just said Sergeant Dickinson?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, so they would like you to leave
Okay.
at this point?
Sergeant,
you
if
wanna-
Hey, how about
so,
you let the sword speak?
okay,
Do you
how
wanna-
about you mind your business?
Are you going to leave?
Hold on.
Are you going to leave, yes or no?
If I don't leave, will I be arrested?
Yes, you're trespassing.
Okay, I'm gonna leave then, because you're under threat of arrest.
That's
I'm
correct, yes.
under threat of arrest. I'm going to leave. And no, you do not. Well, don't touch me.
Hold on.
Don't touch. No, you don't. No, you don't.
We have to
I have not committed a crime.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't. Listen, man, you're touching me,
They asked you to leave.
They asked you to leave,
and I'm
you
leaving
refused to
under
leave.
threat of arrest.
Okay, you're refusing to provide identification to us. We need
Because
to
I
identify
haven't
you, because
committed
if
a
you
crime.
Come back here because they don't want you coming back here.
Sergeant,
we
I
need to
haven't
identify
committed a
you.
Sergeant, I haven't committed a crime. Unless I've committed a crime, I don't have to show you ID, sir.
Did they ask you to leave? Yes or no?
You just told
They
me right
asked you to
now.
leave and you refused.
That's
I'm not. That's not. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
They said that. They asked you to leave.
This is a
and you wouldn't leave.
This is a public building.
That is a crime.
This is a public building.
That's great, but they asked you to leave and you wouldn't leave.
No, it's not the same thing, sir, because it's a
Because
public
Walmart is private.
It's taxpayer funding.
And this is their building. They make the rules here.
So are you Sergeant Dickinson? If I don't give you ID, are you going to arrest me?
Well, so we're trying to...
Because I'm gonna leave because you just gave me gave me an unlawful order that I'm under threat of arrest, which I'll be filing complaints.
What I'm trying to figure out is what happened before. If they asked you to leave beforehand, before I talked to you, then you're actually committing a crime.
But who? Yeah, but I'm not. They didn't. I'm not saying that they asked me to leave.
So,
Okay,
hold
did
on.
you ask him to leave?
You don't know that.
He asked you to leave.
Okay, so all I'm asking. Listen,
what did he say when you asked him to leave?
Sergeant, can I have a conversation with you,
Okay, he
please?
said he wouldn't
Can we
leave.
can we de-escalate and have a conversation, please? All right. So what I'm doing here is I'm press, right? I'm working on a story in the public library. I'm engaging in a First Amendment protected activity, a constitutionally protected activity. I do this quite often. I know for a fact that policy does not trump the law. You can't make for example, you can't make a policy that says no fat guys allowed in the library because that would be discriminating, right?
But that'd be more of a civil side of it.
Exactly, and this is the civil side. You'll be violating my civil, just by telling me to leave under threat of arrest, you're violating my civil rights.
Well, we're not violating your civil rights.
I'm talking to the sergeant, and I'm talking to the sergeant, and I want to have a good. I'm talking to the sergeant, and I want to have a good. Honestly, sir, it's irrelevant to me. No, it's fine.
This is from because it is.
But policy doesn't trump law, sir. That's all I'm trying to tell you. All I'm trying to tell you, and unless I've committed a crime, you cannot get my ID, sir. That's all I'm saying. Don't touch me again, man. Seriously.
Listen, we tell you not to go anywhere, you don't go nowhere.
Can you go there? Well, they did tell him to go somewhere. They told him to leave.
I'm telling. Do you understand that I told you not to touch me?
Do you understand that?
Don't touch me.
You don't
I'm
leave
telling
until
you.
Say so.
Don't touch me. Nobody's scared of you, Tibbets.
No one's supposed to be scared of me. I'm talking over you to keep yapping.
The supervisor interprets the library's policy, and eventually, under the threat of arrest, Long Island Audit felt compelled to identify himself.
Under threat of arrest, I will provide you with my ID. I'm going to go in my pocket now and grab my ID. You're getting a complaint on you, and unfortunately, even though you've been reasonable, you still violated my rights here today, sir, and I'll be pointing a complaint on you. Everybody's getting a complaint, and I will be filing a lawsuit with the city because everybody's getting a complaint.
Bro, he looks like Rory. He looks like Rory, bruh. That's like Rory's twin.
Bozos and tyrants. You know that? I got freedom. You're gonna limit my speech. You're gonna limit my speech now. They're not acting professional at all. They don't listen to you. You've told him to shut up like 3 times, and you don't listen. You don't listen. He said, "Let him handle it."
You told him to shut up. No, you told me to
Let
shut
the big. There you go. You're a tyrant. That's what.
Yo, that's hilarious.
I'm the one down here harassing library.
I'm not harassing anybody. I'm a journalist gathering content for a story.
Get a real job.
Yeah.
Journalist is a real job game. They pay a lot.
Protecting
Hold on.
You're a public servant.
Let me just look at something right.
Yeah. Okay.
Learn your place.
I'm asking you too.
Stay in your lane, buddy.
Listen,
I am in my lane. I'm a free citizen here. They haven't been treating me with respect since I got here. Sir. So the respect,
The salary for a journalist could be between 26 to 78
I
deals.
have freedom of speech to say whatever I want to these
I already
officers.
explained to this guy why he had to leave. All right.
That's a real job.
Long Island Audit left the property with the officers in tow.
Get out.
Where's my trespass warning?
I'll send it to you in the mail.
Nigga, that's Rory's twin.
Take care, Officer Bozo.
You gotta go.
All the way off the property, gang.
You can absolutely film the outside of the building from a public street if you want. Watch yourself, dude.
If you didn't have that badge when you touched me? If you didn't have that badge and you touched me?
What is that? What are you trying to say?
Dude.
Don't touch me.
What are you trying to say?
Because if you didn't have, you touched me.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to leave.
You're trying to
Just
leave.
go. Just go.
I'm trying to leave.
It's not good for you.
It's not good for me. It's not good for you.
Get lost.
I wonder what happened at the end. Does this story have a conclusion?
Lose your temper, you start threatening officers.
I'm not threatening. You're a douchebag. You're a
Is
douchebag. Is that against the law? I'm going.
What's to leave?
I'm going off the property right now. The law protects me
whatever.
to do what I do. You understand?
No.
It's a constitutionally protected
Put that
activity.
on your YouTube feed because
It's
you're
constitutionally protected
You're
activity.
wrong.
If I went in there and I was acting like an asshole,
You're wrong.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Hey, I want to file a complaint against him, Sergeant.
right, thanks,
He just
Sergeant.
grabbed my arm. Sergeant. He just
Sergeant
grabbed my
just
arm.
ignoring
I
you.
want to file a complaint. Sergeant.
After the incident, one of the officers forgot to turn off his body cam and caught
Oh,
Officer
that's
Utter
what he
with
looked like.
24 years of experience as a beat cop and no promotions to leadership, saying the following.
You're wrong.
Don't touch me.
You're
Don't touch
wrong.
me. Don't touch me.
If he comes back on the property, if he comes back on the property,
Hey, I want to file a complaint against him, Sergeant.
All right, thanks,
He just
Sergeant.
grabbed my arm. Sergeant.
Yeah, the old white guy laughed. Yeah, the old white guy laughed, bro.
Is he still here?
He even do this with his shoulders.
I want to file a complaint. I'll wait for him.
Where's Steve go?
He pieced out a while ago.
I hate fucking people.
I know. He's a fucking one.
I'm telling you right now, fucking 5 years ago with this shit, he would have been on the fucking ground. Absolutely. 10, 15, 20 years ago, that motherfucker would be dead. He'd be fucking, his teeth would be missing.
Officer Utter may have just unwittingly testified against himself that he has either witnessed or committed the acts he just mentioned. He has served for 24 years, long before there were body cams and the widespread use of cell phone cameras. His comment that 5 years ago Long Island Audit would be on the ground more than likely is referring to a time where body cams and viral cell phone videos didn't expose officers from lying about brutalizing innocent citizens. Doubling down on his mistake, he declared that Long Island Audit would have been dead 20 years ago. The question now becomes, has Officer Utter witnessed
Well, I don't think
or
that came
taken
from
part
it.
in a homicide 20 plus years ago involving a citizen standing up for their civil rights? Or was he being hyperbolic? Either way, the captured conversation is evidence that this type of attitude and disgust for the public is their culture. Officer Utter may eventually be punished for this, but only because the audio was captured and released to the public. Outside of this sliver of transparency, this talk has been normalized and is accepted. Long Island Audit has filed formal complaints against the officers seen in this video, and has filed a notice of intent to sue. If you wish to know more about his other cases, and learn updates about this one as they happen, be sure to visit his channel, linked in the description, and let him know I sent you. Thanks for watching. If you upload
Captain Stop Sergeant
email
for
it,
violating
send it in
man's
via
rights.
Facebook Messenger. You can also view this and other content on my website. If you're new here, subscribe for future content. If you've been around for a while, remember to like, share, and comment down below of what you think of this interaction. Shirts and other goodies are available at the Teespring store linked below. Channel memberships start at just $1 if you'd like to further support the channel, and get a slick lack logo next to your name. I'll see you in the next video. All links are down below.
Yeah, let's go watch this one. Let's watch this one.
No, your real ID.
Yeah, this is.
No.
I'm Billy Buttcrack. Here you go. I got some ID right here. Here you go. I'm gonna need to see your ID, sir. Sir.
Sir.
The public expects you to do your job correctly. That oath that you swore actually means something. Captain, is this what do you accept this behavior? What do you need? He should not have stripes for one. That's disgusting how you treat the public. Two, he's yelling at me. Hold on, little man.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. Today's story was submitted by Flex Your Freedoms, who on March 8th of 2022 was at the Buchanan County Courthouse in Iowa. He started by recording the public displays that memorialize American veterans. Once inside, he entered the office of the county auditor and commissioner of elections. He asked a few questions about the role of the auditor's office and how to obtain a passport.
Passport services.
Can you record in it?
Yeah, if you want to explain to me like the passport, like how I would go about getting a passport.
I can give you a form.
Sergeant Chesmore observed the interaction, and Flex walked through the public hallway to discover what other services are offered at the county courthouse. While exploring, he spoke with employees in the county clerk's office about what functions they serve. After a very short interaction, Flex entered the hallway again and was confronted by Sergeant Chesmore, who immediately, for no fathomable reason, asks Flex for his ID, and Flex takes Jeff Gray's infamous ID surrendering to the next level.
That's funny.
Weren't you just up there?
Huh?
Weren't you just up there?
No, I think I came from downstairs.
Do you have an ID, sir?
Yeah, I do.
Can I see that, please?
Oh, certainly. Actually, if I could freaking find it, maybe.
Where are you from?
No, I was thinking about moving here.
Oh, yeah. No, your real ID.
Yeah, this is.
No.
I'm Billy Buttcrack.
The real ID.
Oh, you need the
I
real
like the ID.
I
like the ID with the letters a little bit more. That's more creative.
Here you go. I got
there it is.
The D.
Hey, why don't you attend to come over here? What's that?
I got the ID.
But I like the little magnets. Like,
here you go.
Driver's license.
You should have just said that.
Oh. Here you go. I'm gonna need to see your ID, sir. Sir?
Time to go. Let's go. You need to leave.
Excuse me? Don't touch me.
Touch you?
He didn't touch you,
You
though.
just did. You just bumped me. Why? For what?
Come on
What did I
now.
do wrong?
You were told to leave by me.
For what? What crime?
Let's go.
What crime did I do? I'm here to get papers.
Let me see it.
No, you could
Didn't
look
you
right
get
here.
papers?
Excuse me?
Didn't you already get your papers?
I think you need to slow your roll right now.
Slow my roll?
Yeah. You know you work for me?
Come on down here. Come on down here.
For what?
Come on.
I committed no crime.
Come on.
I'm here to look at papers, get papers, see what services you provide.
Right now.
Well, you could tell all day, but I followed the law.
Come on.
I followed the law.
Technically, he is a law. But he ain't.
I'm
He
gonna
not.
continue getting my paperwork.
Who's that? Just peeking around. Oh, this is another cop.
Come on.
What did I do wrong? You guys can't. This
Did
is
he
Russia.
break a policy?
You can't just make up rules yourself. I did nothing wrong. He's on a power trip. I did nothing wrong. I'm here to get papers.
Okay. Mike?
I wondered how long he was gonna stay down there.
Buchanan County.
My name and badge, and you haven't given me your name and badge.
Because you're a public servant, you
Badge.
forget?
It doesn't matter.
It does.
It actually
Did you
does.
forget? You work for me.
No.
You work for
Excuse
the
me.
people.
Do you live in Buchanan County?
It's none of your business. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Why are you being this way?
Why are you, tyrant? What's so funny, little boy?
Dang, why you
You just
violate
respect
him?
our rights.
He was laughing at your
First
joke,
Amendment.
gang. Why you violate
Do you
this one?
know? Didn't think so. It's a shame that you guys swore an oath to uphold the Constitution, yet you don't even know the First Amendment.
Broncos?
No, I like freedom is what I like. Apparently you guys don't.
You're still free, aren't you?
Not by you. You want to be a little tyrant. Hey, get out of the public building.
I haven't.
Hey, he went up. Yeah, because you're not going to. And if you do, guess what? We'll have fun in court.
Oh,
like your camera.
We'll have fun in court.
100 times.
Guess what? Have you violated someone's rights? Of course you have, but guess what?
Mhm.
You ain't gonna violate mine without repercussions.
I like your camera. Brand-
I like your facial hair.
Thanks.
It looks actually kind of good.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah. You should probably grow some too. Not enough testosterone?
Too much.
Oh, okay. Hey, how about I have a task for you? The Bill of Rights, go read the First Amendment, because you don't know what it is, pal.
What's the point of this?
What do you mean? What am I doing right
Asked you
now?
a question you didn't answer.
Yeah, because you're a public servant. Guess what? You don't even know the Fourth.
You haven't told. You're not educating.
Yeah.
I got that right here.
Shame. What a shame.
Answer your questions. You don't answer.
Because you're a public servant. Did you forget? Guess what? This job right here, passport info, because I'm going to fill it out and get a passport.
Okay, here we go.
Accept this behavior done to you.
You're not giving us your name.
I don't have to. What's the Fourth Amendment, buddy?
Okay, here we go.
Is this your first day on the job? I mean, come on.
You do look
You gotta
pretty
be
young.
better than this. I mean, Captain, is this what do you accept this behavior?
What do you need?
Well, I'm gonna go, I just got here. I'm going to each one of these buildings, asking what services they provide. I'm getting certain things, like I just got a passport info, because I'm gonna fill it out and get a passport. And I'm here checking out the building, then I get harassed by this deputy. It's disgusting, his behavior.
Well, check out the building.
Exactly. Why couldn't we do that in the first place? So you have no problem?
No.
Exactly. Do you have a problem now?
Captain says it's fine.
Yeah, and he says it's fine because maybe, he appreciates the Constitution. He at least, at minimum, he understands it.
Just don't interrupt or go back into any place that you're not.
Exactly, and I don't. Exactly, and I don't.
That's all I ask.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Certain parts of the building are not limited.
Yeah, it'll say restricted or certain signs.
Just, anything that's open to the public, if you want to go in and.
Exactly.
Go ahead and do it.
Okay.
That would be my recommendation. Don't stand around and argue with us on it. Just go ahead and.
I mean, it shouldn't be them arguing with me, is the thing.
Either way.
Okay.
Just go in and do it.
Well, there we go. At least the captain knows, Sergeant.
Okay.
You might have to take some lessons up. Go
Hold
home.
on,
Maybe
when did
just
the
check out
sergeant
Bill of
show up?
Rights, because you don't know it.
Thank you for your advice.
Yeah, no problem. And thank.
When
Find
did
it
the
telling of
captain?
an officer's insecurity of their understanding of the law when they don't act on their commands. Flex and Sergeant Chesmore have now been talking for 6 minutes. Originally, the deputy ordered Flex to identify and leave. When he refused, the sergeant took no further action but to engage in petty banter with Flex. If he truly believed he could make Flex leave, or even if he thought he had the authority to do so, he likely would have made it happen much quicker. Instead, however, a captain now arrives on scene.
Okay.
And you're just gonna cross your arms like a beta male. Yeah, I mean, he's doing the wrong thing. He needs educated. This is disgusting, what he's doing.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to know what happened when I came in here? Guess what? I'm being so polite to everybody. I go in here, go in the clerks, I ask them, hey, what services do you guys provide here? And you know what? I got a passport information right here because this is what I'm looking for. I'm here to go in all these offices, and this guy right here, he should not have stripes for one. That's disgusting
Okay,
how you
so
treat the
I got-
public. Two, he's yelling
I
at
got
me.
clickbaited.
Hold
I
on,
got clickbaited again.
Number two, I'm in here to check out.
Bro, where are the videos I was watching before? Like the entertaining ones. I had to find a different channel. Audit, they yap too much. And then that Lex nigga, he clickbait. A detective realizes the cop is actually the murderer. Bro,
explaining
what?
that former police sergeant William Talley, while cops are here to help and protect citizens, what happens when they're actually secret killers in disguise?
That's crazy.
Murder, and it is killers.
Here are 3 examples of when cops
Hey,
try to
what's
get away
up,
with murder,
hey?
starting with the horrifying case of William Talley. On the 11th of May 2019,
What's good with
police received a worrying phone call explaining that former police sergeant William Talley had been in an argument with his girlfriend, Kelly Levinson. At some point during the fight, he fired gunshots at her. William quickly left the scene, stealing Kelly's truck, but was worried he may have done more damage than he realized.
So I don't know anything since then.
Nobody's here has been injured.
No, that's what I told him when I called. He told me that.
I appreciate the follow.
The police had to immediately treat this like a crime scene and decided to search the house to ensure Kelly's safety. There was one thing on the officers' minds, and they were all silently pleading that they wouldn't find her dead.
By the title, she's gonna be dead. Rest in peace.
There's a dog in there. Yep, she's right there. Start again, man.
Upon entering the house, evidence of some kind of physical altercation was scattered throughout. As they entered the kitchen, though, they would find Kelly's dead body lying on the ground. With all the evidence the police had, it wasn't difficult for them to determine their main suspect. But catching him was another matter. They knew that William had received both police and SWAT training, so he'd be difficult to catch. However, all of a sudden, police received a phone call informing them William had gotten into a car crash. The cops rushed to the hospital where they found their *1 suspect waiting for them, bruised and bloodied.
We're gonna take care of you now.
Once William was discharged from the hospital, he was immediately brought to an interrogation room where the investigation would truly begin.
Can I ask what my charges are? Yeah, right now you're charged with murder. You're charged with violation of oath of office, and you're charged with possession of a firearm and the commission of a crime. Who? That's what we're hoping you can tell us. Maybe once we start talking about it a little bit. It wasn't Becky, was it? Was it Kelly? Well, is it a cop?
William mentions two names here, Becky and Kelly. Of course, we know Kelly to be his girlfriend, but William was actually married to another woman named Rebecca Talley who he'd been cheating on. William obviously appears dazed and confused, but whether this is just an act or not is another question. He'd spent multiple days in the hospital and was discharged after being medically cleared, so it's unlikely he'd still be this out of it. Regardless, it at least seems to be keeping him calm. At least for now.
And you can sign this. Nobody's talking with me about things. Well, we're going to get to that. That's what we're hoping to get to. No, I'm not talking until somebody talks to me. I can tell you who, if we can get started there. And it is Kelly. No!
Nigga, you shot a gun at her.
No! No! Tally, come on. Tally. Bill. Bill. No! No!
There's a small chance William really is this distraught over Kelly's death, but he was completely unaware of what he was doing at the time. So it seems more likely that he's actually just using this as a guise to vent and scream about how his life is pretty much finished and over a small argument with his mistress. He's also likely frustrated that he got caught so easily. Remember, this is a man with SWAT and police training. He knows how to evade the cops, but almost instantly after going on the run, his plans were shut down in an incredibly unpredictable way. William manages to calm down while the detective talks to him, but only for a few short seconds.
Bill, let me get some napkins. Bill. Bill, no. Stop, Bill. Relax. Bill, stop.
It's all unnecessary, Bill. If you don't want to talk to us, that's fine, but let's not do this, okay? Okay? Just let's not do this.
Who else to guard?
Right now you're hurting yourself.
I don't care about me.
Well,
who else got hurt?
There's no one else.
I keep hearing people whisper. Or whispers.
Okay, well, what whispering do you hear?
No, tell me the truth.
Okay.
Hey, if one
Someone else
thing,
hurt.
he might be building a good insanity
What
case.
you're watching is a man who knows without a doubt that he's guilty, doing everything he can to try and find a way out. He's panicking, and the cops were probably extremely relieved when William finally asked for a lawyer and put an end to this dramatic interrogation. However, this obviously didn't help him at all, as the detectives already had all the evidence they needed to convict him, and William Talley was sentenced to life behind bars.
Another one bites
Despite
the
William
dust.
being a local cop and even knowing some of the officers involved, this case was handled perfectly. A stark contrast to that of Matthew Boynton, whose case was so weird and corrupt that the cops ended up investigating a shooting that never even happened.
You know you can't give a sworn statement and lie on it. Why would you do that, Matthew?
On the 15th of April 2016, police found Jessica Boynton hidden in the closet of her home with a gunshot wound to the head and a police-issued firearm in her hand. The county sheriff reportedly ruled her dead at the scene, but there was a problem. Jessica was neither dead nor shot. After she was rushed to the hospital, the ER found no entrance wounds or bullets. Instead, they found evidence of a blunt force attack to the back of her head. This case is already incredibly confusing, but what's worse is that the police's #1 suspect, Matthew Boynton, told cops that he received a text from Jessica saying she was about to commit suicide. After rushing home, he heard 2 gunshots coming from the house and called the police. Matthew was taken to the police station and interrogated, but was caught lying about a vital piece of evidence. This is where we join the detectives as they try to unwrap this baffling web of lies.
Do you recognize that bag? Yes, that bag that Jessica let me use to put all my gym stuff in when we used to be together. Okay, so when's the last time you saw that bag? It's been a long time. Like I said, when I used to work out at, there's 2 gyms in Thomaston. I don't remember the name of it. I used that one, and I had a gray Nike bag I used to work out.
What do you have, Kenny? When the last time you seen that bag?
Drinks, powder shakes, like pre-workout.
Put a date on it.
Workout
Like Yo Gotti said.
Shoes, whatever.
Nigga put a date on it.
Nike bag.
Suspects who aren't telling the truth tend to over-explain as they feel they have something to prove to detectives. If they can give lots of information over, they think it'll convince the detective that they're not lying, as they couldn't possibly make all of that up. However, in actuality, suspects telling the truth will give a more instinctual, simplified answer to the question because they don't have to think about it as much. Bear that in mind as the interview continues.
So when's the last time you saw that bag? I mean, it's been a while. I don't know an exact date. I don't know. I think my stepdad, he had it in the white trailer, and that's been a while. And he brought it, but I haven't been through it or anything. Put it in my storage thing in my house, which is like when you pull in the driveway. It's a little storage thing on the right. You open the door and it's got all my stuff in there. I had to clean some of it out recently. That was tossed in there, but I mean, it's in there with a bunch of my stuff, like a brown tub I used to keep in my old patrol car with gym stuff in it and work stuff.
He's just letting them ramble.
That answer was given in response to the question, when was the last time you saw this bag? Something that could have been answered in a single sentence. The detectives already knew that Matthew was lying about this bag, as that's the whole reason he was brought to this second interrogation. But now they're 100% sure he's hiding something, and they're about to call him out on it.
All right, Matthew. I've known you a long time. When you all were in the process of moving, and you moved into the house that you're at now, your residence, did you or did you not see this bag?
Yes, sir. It's in my storage room in the garage.
Now, why would I be holding a picture of this bag?
I guess because Jessica brought it into you.
Why would Jessica have it if you had it at your house?
I don't know. I guess somebody got it from my garage or my shed.
Who would have gotten it?
There's a couple of people. I don't know.
Like who?
Exactly who.
Put a name on
It
it.
was completely filled with female clothes. And this is one photo of it. That's not yours.
No.
This whole thing might not seem
No,
like a big
confused,
deal,
actually.
but it's actually the root of a much bigger problem. This bag, along with everything in it, belonged to Jessica. So when it was discovered in Matthew's possession after he told police that he'd handed all of her belongings over, it confirmed that he had been lying under oath. Again, a small issue at first, but now that the detectives know he's comfortable lying about this, They know that almost every piece of information he's given them could be completely untrue.
The bag was turned into us. We have possession of the bag. We have evidence that says it came out of your storage room. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
No, sir.
Do you believe that statement to be accurate and true?
Not now.
Did you believe it then?
No, sir.
Matthew has now essentially confessed to stealing the bag of Jessica's belongings and lying under oath. There is the question of why he did this, but we haven't even gotten started on the assault part of the case. Why Jessica was found unconscious in their closet after allegedly
she's
texting
not dead.
Matthew she was going to shoot herself. As it turns out, though, the police would also never move on to that part of the case, and it remained completely unanswered. Matthew was charged with stealing and lying under oath, and after being placed on administrative leave, he resigned from the force, but went completely uncharged for whatever happened on the night of April 15th.
So they'll be like,
many people have been
insane.
left wondering why that may be, but the most obvious answer lies in police corruption, and the facts that the county sheriff just so happened to be Matthew's granddad, the same sheriff who lied by pronouncing Jessica dead at the scene. What's worse is that Jessica's head trauma left her without any memory of that night, so it's likely this case will remain unsolved forever. But people thought the same about the murder of Sherry Rasmussen, which lay unsolved for 23 years before new information revealed that the culprit was actually one of the police force's best detectives.
Now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
After decades of investigations, DNA evidence revealed that Stephanie was very likely the culprit of a murder committed in 1986. Because of the high-stakes nature of the case, the detectives made sure to meticulously plan this interrogation. Stephanie was a really successful detective herself, and she had recently received recommendations for her good work on a
I used to want to be a
case.
detective.
So the detectives used
after
this
watching
and
Death
brought
Note.
her in under the guise that they needed help with a case.
I don't want to talk about this in the squadron because I don't know who people are listening. And if we go to my side, everybody's always wondering what everybody else is doing. Okay.
An interrogation room is a strange place for such a conversation to take place, so to put her mind at ease, detectives told her this was the place they'd least be likely to be overheard, as the case details were strictly confidential. Sherry Rasmussen's body had been found at her home after being shot 3 times. At the time, police suspected the murder was a result of a burglary gone wrong, but the case went cold when they couldn't identify the suspect. However, 23 years later, when revisiting the case, detectives found evidence that led them towards Stephanie, a girl who had been trapped in a love triangle with Sherry and her husband, John Rutten. So the detectives decided to bring up John's name to see how she'd react.
Were you guys friends, close friends?
Yeah, we're very close friends. I mean, what's this all about?
It's a case we're working on and it involves John, and in there's notes and stuff that he knew you and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were good friends. I lived in the dorms for 2 years.
Was there ever any relationship or anything that developed between you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we dated, you know, I mean, what's this all about?
Well, it's relating to his wife.
Both the detectives and Stephanie have tried to seem as friendly and relaxed as possible around each other, but Stephanie is obviously starting to get very anxious at this point. Even though the detectives gave a somewhat believable excuse, she is now in an interrogation room faced by 2 detectives being questioned about a girl she supposedly murdered 20 years earlier. Her breathing has become faster, and her language is defensive, and her movements have become more erratic.
And you're right.
I mean, if you guys are claiming that I'm a suspect, then, you know, I got a problem with, you know, with that.
Okay.
Okay? So, you know, if you're doing this as an interrogation, you're saying, hey, I'm a suspect. Well, now I got a problem with, you know, now you're accusing me of this? Is that what you're saying?
Obviously, you know about all the DNA stuff and things of nature that, you know, gets done on cases nowadays. You know, if we asked you for a DNA swab, would you be willing to give us one?
Maybe. Because now I'm thinking I probably need to talk to a lawyer.
Stephanie chooses to provide DNA evidence, hoping her willingness to help out would ultimately prove her innocence. But, unfortunately for her, just 5 minutes later, the detectives decide they've heard enough and put her in cuffs. Months later, after a long and arduous trial, a decision was made by the jury.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Stephanie Eileen Lazarus, guilty of the crime of murder of Sherry Rasmussen. We further find the murder was of the first degree.
After hiding it for 23 years, Stephanie Lazarus was finally found guilty of murder and sentenced to 27 years behind bars. If you enjoy true crime videos,
Another one bites the dust.
make sure you're subscribed to see more.
Oh, it's not. There's two videos I kind of want to see. One is called When Corrupt Cops Realized They Arrested a Lawyer. And then another one is called Dumb Cops Who Got Owned by Higher Authority. I kind of watched that. Let's watch the lawyer one first. Then we'll go back.
Welcome back to Audit Zone. Lawyers know the law better than police officers. Here are
Yes,
3
they
cases
should.
when cops get owned by lawyers.
I know that one.
This
That one's
first video
famous.
showed deputies of Blount County Sheriff's Office arresting attorneys Victor Reville and Megan Garcia on February 23, 2017. On that day, the 2 attorneys had represented their client, Lloyd Edwards, in a case of protection from abuse, PFA. Shortly after, Lloyd attorneys collected 2 of the phones and kept them in their briefcase. Sergeant Brian Ratcliffe allegedly saw that, so he reported to Deputy Sue Ashworth, who then immediately obtained a search warrant for the phones.
I'm from the Sheriff's Office.
Do you have any other weapons on your person at this time that I need to know about? RC? No, sir. No, I do in the car. Okay. What do you have in normal? A small pistol. Okay. Your vehicle is also part of...
What are these captions, bro?
I have to ask you, do you have the keys to your automobile? Yes, sir. I need the keys to your automobile right now. Let me pat you down, make sure you don't have any other weapon. Stop it. Get some help. Just for your safety and ours. Okay. Just hang tight, we'll get all this resolved.
All right, the warrants that you all have are for his person.
That's
and
correct.
and for his vehicle.
That's correct.
So he is given the phone that's on his person.
Okay, I have video of him handing the phone to you handing the phone to her. It's in the satchel right now.
Yeah, you all do have that, but that is not on when you all.
No, I'm
came
out
on
here
him
at the courthouse
to serve
with
this
Brian
warrant,
on search
that was
warrant.
not on his person. So you all are not entitled to that.
Well, all right then, we'll go the other route and get that other phone.
Just like the attorneys had suspected, the warrant was served a few minutes after they collected Edwards' phones. However, they stayed ahead of the game. It seemed many lawyers always outsmart police officers because the lawyers in the remaining 2 videos also outsmarted the officers. Seeing that the attorneys have been smarter than them, Deputy Ashworth called the district attorney, Pamela Casey, to consult about how to proceed. After the call, the attorneys were arrested and charged with alleged obstruction of governmental operation and unlawfully refusing to produce an item subject to a search warrant.
I'm going to turn this off. I don't know what we just done.
Okay. We either need the phone out of the satchel, or we will have to detain you and get a search warrant to get the phone.
So you're gonna okay. Well, we're not going to give you we're not going to give you anything that's on our person that you don't have a right to. So if you detain us, you have to have there's certain constitutional safeguards to do that. But if you're going to detain us, then hey, we're not going to run.
Do you have any idea how fast I am?
And you all are telling us we are being detained. Is that right, Officer Rat?
At this point in time right now, you are being detained. Now, if they determine...
Okay. You both are under arrest for obstructing government operations.
Obstructing government operations?
That's correct.
Definitely an unlawful arrest. But we're under arrest. We're under arrest. Yeah, we're all right.
I'm not sure you're in trouble for it.
First, if you would, around, let me make sure you don't have no weapon on
You know what's funny is she didn't even agree to none of that. He kind of like did all of that, all the talking for her. It don't look like she want to be under arrest.
if you don't mind, take them properly.
So it's probably her boss. So like,
The attorneys were taken to Blount County Jail and booked. In a surprising turn of events, the two attorneys withdrew from Edwards' case. During the court trial for the attorneys, Edwards testified against his former lawyers, saying, "I thought it was the thing to do." It was later reported that the district attorney, Pamela Casey, actually prepared Edwards for his testimonies against his former attorneys. Thankfully, in March 2018, the two attorneys were acquitted of all charges after a rigorous court case. Following that, in December 2018, Attorney Garcia filed a civil rights lawsuit against all the officers in this incident. Sometimes when officers want to get drivers in trouble, all they have to do is politely seek the driver's consent to search the vehicle, even if there is no justifiable reason for that. This second video showed these two officers of the Orlando Police Department trying to play that trick on this lawyer who was returning home after a stressful day.
This one went viral.
The lawyer was originally pulled over for having illegal tag lights.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, not
How
this
long
one.
did you get in a crash? Okay, the reason I pulled you, you can't have white light emitting back.
What do you mean?
Your tag lights, they're supposed to illuminate your tag. Those two white lights, all they're doing is shooting straight back. You can't have any white light limiting them back. So then that also doesn't illuminate your tag. And on top of that, you got a border around your tag that blocks the county that you live in. You can't have that on your tag.
Are you talking about the one that the car dealership was at, the black one?
That silver one that goes around your tag? Yeah, you can't have that. You got your license, brother?
Of course.
It seemed as though the lawyer was rummaging through his glove compartment, the officer started thinking about how he could screw up the life of this man. So he decided to ask questions unrelated to this traffic stop, such as where the lawyer was going and if they could search his car. Thankfully, the lawyer quickly realized the game the officers were playing. He decided to save them from unnecessary lawsuits by revealing he was a lawyer. He also didn't consent to be searched.
Where are you headed to, man?
Home.
Where's home?
What? On University on Pier Drive.
How long you been in Orlando? Huh?
I work here since August or so.
Okay, your address just still says St. Pete on your license.
Yeah, I need to update it when my tag in March.
Okay. Are you concealed weapons holder? Any weapons in the vehicle I need to be aware of? Nope, nothing illegal in the car. Alright, so after I'm done, if I ask to search the vehicle to verify what you're saying is true, you don't mind?
I do mind, but...
He talks very fast.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So you have nothing in the vehicle?
I have absolutely nothing in the vehicle.
Okay. And you don't mind confirming that by allowing us to look and make sure there's nothing in the vehicle? As you can imagine, we hear no all the time as they have nothing and we find stuff.
I'd rather not search my car.
Okay.
The way this officer talked showed he was very cunning and manipulative. Many innocent and unsuspecting citizens would have probably fallen for his sweet talk just to prove they have no weapons or illegal substances in their vehicles. The only problem is that this type of corrupt officer usually finds something illegal, even if they have to plant it while doing their alleged search. The officers joked and laughed as they waited for the dispatcher's response. After confirming the lawyer's ID, they let him go without any citation.
Alright, Nicholas. So one, you gotta get that fixed, those white lights in the back. Okay? If you keep getting pulled like that, you're gonna get tickets non-stop.
I'll get it.
You understand that? That border? Take that border off. Understand that?
As we saw in this video, it is important that every citizen know their constitutional rights, and not allow any officer to manipulate them to give up their rights. This
search my car.
Proved that some officers of the Orlando police have a knack for jeopardizing their career by pulling up lawyers and trying to mess with them. These two officers of the Orlando Police Department decided to joke with their careers while on patrol. At one point, they saw a black woman drive a nice car past them. It seemed they couldn't believe that a black woman could have such a car, so they immediately suspected the car might have been stolen and ran its tag. Their suspicion increased when the tag returned no identifying information, so the officers initiated a traffic stop.
What kind of car is it?
I'll stay here.
It looks like a Tesla.
Oh, you're good. Wait,
I can't tell.
I'm the state attorney.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Your tag didn't come back. Never seen that before. I'm sorry? Yeah. We're good now.
Immediately, Ayala
She said,
told the officer
"Who's
she was
good
the state
now?"
attorney. Fear gripped them. Their confidence rapidly went from
He
100%
said, "We're good
to
now." She
0 within a
said,
second.
"Who
It was
good
as if
now?
they saw their
We
whole life
supposed to
flash
be
before
good?
their eyes.
We're not good."
They immediately backtracked on their mission after realizing they were swimming in dangerous waters. However, one of the officers decided to
too
worsen
deep.
their situation by stating that they always run people's tags even without justifiable reasons. Upon hearing that, Attorney Ayala smirked and asked for their business card.
So it was.
We ran the tag. I've never seen it before. A Florida tag. It's never come back to anything before. So that's the reason for the stop.
What was the tag run for?
I'm sorry?
What was the tag run for?
Oh, we run tags all the time. Whether it's the traffic lights and that sort of stuff. That's how we figure out if, cars are stolen and that sort of thing. Also, the windows are really dark. I don't have a tint measurer, but that's another reason for the stop.
Do you guys have cards on you?
Yeah, 1 second. Actually, this isn't my car, but I can write my name down if you'd like. What's your employee number? I'm sorry, sir. Ready? There you are. Have a good day.
Luckily for them, Attorney Ayala decided not to get the officers in trouble for possible racial profiling. After the video went viral, she released the following statements.
What she said?
Since its release, the video has had more than 2 million views and produced a flood of misinformation, including the filing of a lawsuit, which is not true. To be clear, I've violated no laws. The license plate, while confidential, was and remains properly registered. The tint was in no way a violation of Florida law, although the traffic stop appears to be consistent with Florida law. Well, that's all concerning this video. Thanks for watching.
Alright. What's the video I just seen? What's the video I just seen? Let me go back.
Explaining that former police sergeant William Talley.
I'm just go. I seen it at the very end, so I'm just like do that. See if it pop up.
If you enjoy true crime videos like this, make sure you're subscribed to see more.
Yeah, this one. This is the last one. This is the last one.
Forget that there's always someone above them, and these cops got completely owned by higher authority. The following guy was casually shopping in the store when the store owner contacted the police and asked them to remove him, claiming that he had run from this store a year ago. The officer went over and started to demand ID without any reason.
She said she's talking to you. Listen to her. Okay. So they have a right as a private institution to request that you don't return. And they want to formal trespass, which means that if we document it, it's going to simply say I'm in contact with you. The manager requests to have you trespass.
Before a trespass, you have to ask me to leave first. Nobody has asked.
No, I have to give you a warning and then
the owner has to ask, but I haven't done anything.
Yeah, that is true. The owner has to ask.
And the guy almost hit me, and there was a police report about it.
According to him, something was taken
Yes.
in the past.
Not about me, though.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't me.
Are you sure? That was him. Can I get your ID, please? Well, trespassing after warning.
No, that's
statute.
Right.
I'm issuing a trespass.
I know.
Listen to me. I am issuing a trespass, which means I'm not finished. I'm not finished. Let me see. Let me finish. And I will get my supervisor. I'm going to explain to you how a trespass warning has to be. You're not going until you give me your ID.
Yeah, he gonna stay right there.
You're not going until you give me your ID.
You're not even listening to her.
I asked for your supervisor.
Okay, he's gonna tell you the same thing.
I'll wait for you to come to tell me.
You're not going into, you need to provide your ID. You're committing a crime right now. You're disobeying a lawful command. You're committing a crime right now, and I'm being as patient as possible. Normally, I don't give everybody a warning this much. Your ID. Your ID.
Can I please walk out?
Your ID.
I'm asking you.
We're going to walk out together, and you're going to go in handcuffs.
I'm not being rude. I'm not.
You are. You are. And now I'm going to be placing you under arrest. Why? Because you're not obeying my command. I'm telling you, I explained to you.
What does she sound like? She's from Florida.
As soon as you get here, I'm going to proceed with my decision. Because you're being uncooperative. It's a simple document of, I made contact with Mr. Such and Such. She asked for him to no longer return to the store. And he was issued a formal trespass warning. He was educated that if he comes back, he will be trespassing after warning. Which is what I'm trying to do, right?
I'm totally okay with that.
He's not cooperating though, right?
The lady officer acted all bossy and tried to dominate the guy without even listening to what he had to say. Eventually, the supervisor came over, and he made a sensible decision, completely owning her, making her stand still.
The instance that they're talking about, I have no clue. Okay. I was never charged with anything. There's no incident.
Do you frequent the store?
Huh?
Do you frequent the store a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't know what incident they're talking about. I've been here numerous times. I never even asked to leave today.
You don't want him here anymore?
No.
Okay, is there a reason why?
A year ago, he was having some issue with him, and he ran from our store. We called the police because we want to make a police report, for him not to come back. But because he run, we don't have any.
You were saying yes or they're saying yes? Because you're the acting supervisor.
Correct.
So you're detaining me?
They're saying that yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, you're detaining me.
I'm not. First of all, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Let's not get into a philosophical.
But the thing is, you have to abide by the law, not by hearsay.
Correct.
So by the law.
Let me ask you a question. You just want him gone from the store?
To walk out.
Okay.
Trespass
trespassing also. Give me the trespassing so he cannot come back.
He's gonna tell you that it doesn't work that. Okay. To come back.
No, we can't issue you a trespass warning.
I don't have to. I don't have to provide the ID for that.
You're absolutely right.
Thank you, sir.
You're absolutely right. However,
I know that.
if they are asking you not to come back in our presence, we need to document that.
I will not come back.
Okay? But we need your name for
You
that.
put my first name is Andrew.
Okay. Just tell them you don't want them to come back.
I will not come back.
I don't want you back here anymore.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Am I
Feel free to go.
Thank you, miss. And
okay.
Hopefully we learned something today because your officer said that it was wrong.
Okay.
I was wrong.
All right. All right.
No, to document.
Go ahead.
No, to document it, you do need ID. Have a good day.
Go ahead. Wow. This is the disconnect with the community.
No, it's a disconnect with the civilians. Have a good day.
Starting off, we have an FBI.
Oh, he
agent
didn't actually say that to her,
who was
man.
investigating alleged police corruption in Franklin County and wanted to meet Franklin County Deputy Rolf Gordon for a ticket he gave to a local businesswoman. Things turned upside down when Gordon asked Mr. Hatton for his identification, and even after he provided him with it,
I wasn't paying attention.
No, it's a disconnect with the civilians. Have a good day.
Starting off, we have an FBI Special Agent, Alexis Hatton, who was investigating alleged police corruption in Franklin County and wanted to meet Franklin County Deputy Rolf Gordon for a ticket he gave to a local businesswoman. Things turned upside down when Gordon asked Mr. Hatton for his identification, and even after he provided him with it, he still detained him.
That'll work.
You run your body cam?
I am now, because I don't know how legit you are at the moment.
It's okay. Special Agent Hatton. The FBI.
Okay.
You got that on body cam?
I do, but I don't understand what the problem is when you meet me at the office.
I'll talk to the U.S. Attorney's Office about it. You can cut off the recording device now.
Okay. Well, I will when I leave the area, sir. Hey, TJ, this guy is telling me to turn my body camera off and telling me he's going to contact other people to get involved with this. Let me get his tag number real quick. It's going to be LKST57. LKS 33 Franklin. I got one Whiskey Mike detained at this time.
Wait, who's detaining who?
Hey, I don't think this guy's legit, man.
I'm actually confused on who's detaining who.
I'm not going to put you in cuffs.
So that's the FBI agent?
Okay. I've got my weapon on my right. You do got, is it on, do I have permission to take it off?
No, you don't have permission to take it.
Just hang tight right here. I'm not cuffing you. I'm not, okay. I haven't seen a badge. I've seen an ID card. I haven't seen a badge.
You have not seen?
No, sir. I haven't seen a badge. I've seen an ID card.
I handed this to you. Did you grab it? Take it out of my hand. Do you not see a badge?
I see a badge now. That's the first time I saw the badge, sir.
You don't need to be a deputy.
I saw this. He kept opening this.
Yeah. That's called my badge and my credentials.
That's very professional you just say that statement. But anyway, that I was very observant. But
I got that crowd, gang. They put him in cuffs? What'd he do?
alright, just being detained. Double lock them.
What's the charge, brother?
You don't have any yet,
You're
but
just
right now
being
we're
detained,
running you
sir.
through multiple federal databases.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody's coming up with your name. You also coming back on a terror watch list. So we're going to secure you for our protection and yours. We're going to put you in the back of a police car.
Where's that weapon at, sir?
It's on my right side, brother.
You got any other
Terror
weapons on
watch
you, sir?
list. Bro, who is this nigga?
Alright, I'm just gonna pat you down real quick.
Right. What do you gotta do?
Yeah, we're just trying to verify you.
But since you don't want to give us no info for nobody to contact.
Did he give you your badge and an ID card?
That's my line. Don't touch that thing right there. That's my law enforcement. It's got all my notes on it for what I've done today. You're not allowed to see that.
I'm not allowed to see what? Well, if you go to jail, I'm going to impound this to the sheriff's office. I'm going to get a search warrant. I'm going to touch everything.
Good.
All right?
He's clear.
My name's Sergeant Carroll.
Special Agent Hatton was handcuffed and locked in the back of a patrol car in severe heat. He kept on repeating that someone would take him out or lower the heat, but no one listened.
What's he doing here?
He is legit. 10-4-5. I'm gonna
Who just called?
handcuff him now. Captain Webb just called. 54-5. I turned it on when he told me that.
Right away. He's down here on official business. As soon as y'all can let him go about his way.
10-4. All right, sir.
Call 911. I need a medical attention right now. Unlock me. Call 911.
They are 911.
We're releasing you right
no,
now,
call
sir.
911 now. Call 911. I need
33.
I'm sitting there begging you to cut off.
Release. He's requesting EMS to respond at this time.
He is an old man.
Franklin to 33, can you give me an exact address?
We're at the new substation for the Sheriff's Office, Franklin.
Jacksonville, I need 911. I've asked for help. I've been in a car. They've had me smoking in the back.
10-4, can you advise if it's next door to the new dollar?
Finally, a medical expert was called after Mr. Hatton repeatedly kept on asking for one. It was later confirmed that he was an undercover FBI special agent and was scheduling an interview with Gordon.
Who's Gordon?
Says he can't see.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have this auditor who was taking some photos and videos around the truck crossing going into Canada and Blaine, Washington, when Officer Formosa and Officer Tavella came out and stopped him from filming in public, which is his right. Let's see what happens next.
I'm just gonna have you walk over here with me real quick.
How come? I want to go this way. I'm
Hang out right here then.
Oh, how come?
Because this is a federal inspection area.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Okay.
This is for news purposes.
All right.
Yeah.
I have a neck cramp.
Talk to the court if you're a journalist.
I'm a journalist. Yeah.
All right.
I don't need to disseminate it. I'm letting you know right now. It's for news purposes.
All right.
I'm an independent journalist gathering content for a story.
All right. Do you have any credentials?
What? Like what?
Like anything that says that you're a journalist?
Like a crayon and a piece of paper? There's nothing out there that's an actual, unless you're in the White House. You know that, right? Absolutely. So, can I go this way then?
We're just gonna wait so our supervisor comes out to let you know where you can roam around and film.
Okay, if you're...
Moments later, their supervisor Andreas came out, and it seemed like he didn't know the law about public filming at all, as he kept on harassing him and tried to force him out of the area.
How are you?
Good. What can I do for you?
Oh, just doing some public photography for news purposes.
Okay, are you referred? Are you crossing the border today?
Oh, no, I'm not.
You need to depart the FIS then, which means you can do all of that off of port property.
Oh, so this is not legal? It's not.
You're on the federal inspection station.
Okay.
And you can only be here if you have business here in the form of crossing the border north or south.
So, as far as when it comes to my First Amendment, I can't use it here just for news purposes?
It just has to be off of the FIS.
Okay.
You can go right to the border and do this all along the edge of the FIS.
What if I had a question inside? I do have a question inside about cross.
How can I ask it?
Okay, so crossing the border, maybe you can let my viewers know what is the procedure like? What kind of documents do they really need? Is it just a passport or what is it?
Proof of citizenship of some sort.
Okay.
And or if you're you need a proof of citizenship and positive ID, which means picture.
That it's public photography.
This is not public. It's public in the sense that it's government owned.
Okay.
But you don't have free access to the FIS. All you want.
Okay, I just need to know because you sound like you really know what you're talking about. Then, will I be arrested if I stick around here?
You will simply be escorted. If you assault one of the officers, then we're talking about an arrest.
Well, I'm not planning to assault anyone. I'm trying to keep my distance from you. So
you are going to depart the facility.
I don't need to be grabbed, and you're taking a stance like you're going to grab me.
Do you understand that? I don't care that you agree. I'm sure
it's not about me. I didn't make the rules.
I'm sure you don't agree, but you need to understand you are going to depart the property. You are going to depart the...
I've got this guy behind me putting the gloves on like you're going to arrest me. Look at this, guys. Okay.
This way.
All right. We'll come back here, guys.
Do you see the sidewalk over here?
We'll come back here, guys. We're gonna go the way I want to go. I'm not gonna have you holding my hand. I'm leaving the property. Okay, and I'm gonna come back. I don't think you know the rules. I was down at Peace Arch already, but I'm gonna get. Who's your supervisor?
My supervisor is the duty chief. Right this way.
Okay, what's their name?
At the time, it's Chief Officer Giddens.
Okay, and
this way here.
Well, I want to cross over here.
That's not off-court property. This way is off-court property.
Wow, guys, this guy doesn't know the rules. You've been here for 28 years. You should have a sign.
I'm afraid I do know the rules, sir. It is you actually that does not know the rules.
Okay, we're gonna pursue this.
When does the officer come? When does the supervisor come?
Under threat of arrest because of your body language and so forth.
Yep,
I will leave. Sure that Andrews is up.
Andre incident. Cool.
We're your friends. We pay your salary.
The auditor tried to be as friendly and cool as he could be, but Andreas didn't seem to get any of that. He kept on pushing him away and ended up escorting him out of the property. Soon after the incident, the auditor reached out to Chief Giddens, who had something important to say and made sure that Andreas would be educated.
I just wanted to make sure that Andrews is up to speed with this because
I talked with him.
Okay.
Right now he's working on a few things. He's a supervisor of the shift and he has the shift responsibility.
it'd be good for my viewers to see that he is up to speed, just for your sake too, right?
If he's available, he is He has a working job and he is doing active things for the board.
Okay.
He's the only supervisor.
See if he's.
They show up.
Sure.
Yeah, I thought that we had him. I know we've had a lot of construction.
Yeah.
After our discussion, I went through and saw that we did not.
The auditor was doing nothing wrong, as it was his right to be there and take pictures or videos of any public property. Next up, we have the Collin County Detention Officer,
Hey, that's where I'm at.
who allegedly passed a cell phone inside the jail to an inmate. The matter was soon brought to the sheriff's notice, and Sheriff Jim Skinner was quick to investigate the matter. Moody soon confessed to the investigators, and Skinner went in to talk to him for one last time.
So you telling me if I went to jail, I could get a phone?
Moody, I understand that you've offered your resignation. Is that correct? Have you offered your resignation or not?
If I can keep my job, then no.
Well, you can't keep your job, okay? So let me just make it easy. You're fired. You're no longer an employee here.
You're fired.
You've betrayed the trust of every citizen that we have the privilege to serve, and you've betrayed the trust of the brave and selfless men and women that you worked alongside for nearly 3 years.
I wonder who got the phone.
You're under arrest for bringing a prohibited item, a cell phone, into a correctional facility. That's a third-degree felony. You have any questions about that?
No, sir.
Well, you're going to be cuffed. First thing I want you to do is stand up and take that uniform shirt off. You don't deserve to wear it.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. What's this nigga name? I want to see if I can find who has the phone. Wouldn't it be crazy if I knew the person who got the phone?
Moody, who allegedly passed property. Next up, we have the Collin County Detention Officer, Tyler Moody.
Tyler Moody. Let's see. Do some Googles right quick. Right